like lean in. Should I just move Gouch?
You can move Gaucho.
Sorry, bud. Plus, your licking is being gross.
It is pretty
Not that
gross.
We don't love you dearly.
Hey, Lenny.
Hi, Corey.
Hi there.
Fancy you being here.
Hi, everybody. Hey, guys. Episode, I already forgot what number of Electric Fancave. Oh, 118. It's on the bottom. It's episode 118 of Electric
Did you
Fancave
title
on
this the name of
Electric
my
Beat.
song?
I did do that.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And we are back from our wild excursion to Ireland and from winter break and New Year's and all that jazz that has prevented us from talking to you all this time. And we are very glad to be here. We're going to talk about some movie trailers. We're going to talk about our trip. We're going to talk about our tattoos because we have those now.
We do have those now.
And we're going to talk about some SAG Awards stuff. Maybe some Oscars if we feel like it. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. But for the time being, let's just get to it, shall we? Hey, Kristen, how's it going?
It's great. Corey?
You just came from a speakeasy.
I did. Yes. So I went out with some friends, and we for a friend's birthday, we went to the bathroom before we were leaving the restaurant. Like, we'd already paid.
The way you phrased that was great because it sounded like for your friend's birthday you went to the bathroom.
No, we had eaten at a restaurant, and then we went to the bathroom, and then as we were leaving, there was like this weird interchange between a gentleman that worked at the restaurant and our waitress, and he was like, "Oh, you should show what's behind the bookcase." And we were like, "What's happening?" Sure enough, girlfriend takes us behind a bookcase. There was a speakeasy bar back there. It was just pretty fun.
Amazing.
So invite only, very exclusive, you know.
I've still never been to a speakeasy, and there's a fair amount of them.
Honestly,
in Southern California.
It's weird now because now that is two speakeasies
that I've
stumbled upon and someone's invited me into. The first one, for sure, I thought we were going to get murdered.
Yeah, well.
But it was going to be worth it, I decided.
Oh, so. Absolutely. Maybe I should be offended that no one has actually invited me into a speakeasy.
I guess you need to be as nice and outgoing as I am.
When you've got the touch.
I mean, when you awkwardly, do things with your hands and your actually my waitress loved me because she came in, she's like, on Thursdays, these are our special drinks, and she listed them. And then anytime a new person showed up, because I was the first one there, anytime someone new showed up, I remembered what the drinks were. And so I'm like, oh, well, Thursdays tonight it's $5. And then I listed the drinks, and she was standing there one time when I was doing it, and she was like, oh wow. And then every time I did it, she's like, God, you should just work here. And I was like, well, Jessica,
goals.
Maybe I will.
Yeah,
you're delightful.
This was what on the plane coming back from Ireland that I had the similar experience of, the flight attendants have to walk up and down the aisle saying the same thing to everyone the whole time. Mm-hmm. So it was like chicken or fish, and would you like some red or white wine or something like that. Yeah. And when she got to me, before she could say anything, I was like, I would like chicken and red wine, please. And she was just so charmed by it. She kept mentioning it every time she walked by.
And then I did the same thing you did after and then she came to me and I was like, I will have the pasta and white, please. And she was like, oh, thank you. And I was like, you're welcome. I was like, I did steal that from her. So it's not original. But
I was paying attention. But it's the thought that counts.
There you go.
Because those kinds of jobs can be monotonous.
Yeah. And we made it fun for them.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe
extent,
as fun as being in a tube in the air with a bunch of strangers can possibly be. And so all that to say, we talked about it before we left, that we were on our grand excursion to Ireland and Northern Ireland. So we did that. We've been back less than 2 weeks, but it feels like years since we came back from there. But it was such a fun time. Really fun. Stupid fun. We ate a lot of good stews. We saw a lot of beautiful scenery. We went on a Game of Thrones tour.
Yes. Which is funnily
enough,
was probably one of my favorite things.
Yeah, it was definitely a highlight. Neither of us watch or like Game of Thrones.
So producer Bree and Keo love Game of Thrones. Yeah. And so producer Brie actually was on, we told her, we're like, you pick the tour, we're just going to go to go. And we get on this bus, you guys, and it's, 7:00 in the morning. It's
super butt cracking
dark still.
Yeah, it's dark. It's not even dawn, in Ireland or Northern Ireland at this point.
So we get on the bus in Belfast, and they're going to take us out to the things, and this guy gets on with this Mangy,
great big bushy beard.
Mangy hair and big bushy beard, like reddish brown, very Irish
straight
looking.
Yeah, like straight Viking.
Like legit the most Irish person we met was this
like
guy,
straight
Andy.
old school Celt. That kind of
And
look.
so he gets on the tour bus, and first thing he tells us, he's like, I'm like never been to tourism school. I'm like not really a tour guide. He's like, but I just love Game of Thrones.
By the way, when he said the thing about never having been to tour guide school, I thought he was joking. Like I didn't think that was a thing until we went on another tour, and the guy was like, "Yeah, so I went to tour guide school." We were like, "Oh, that's actually
it's like a thing." And the thing about Andy, our tour guide,
Andy, sweet Andy,
I've now you guys know us,
Yeah.
so take this as the baseline from what I'm about to tell you. I have never met anybody who loves anything as much as Andy loves Game of Thrones.
Straight up.
And that is including Corgan and myself.
Yeah. And we love things.
And we love things a lot. So nobody loves anything as much as this guy loves Game of Thrones. He's an extra on the show.
For 4 years, he's been an extra on it.
Read all the books. And then he's also read the companion books because we went to this very famous castle in Northern
Dunluce
Ireland.
Castle.
It's like one of the most famous castles in Ireland.
Right.
And we get to this castle and he's like, so I don't actually know anything about this castle. Then he launches into this like 10 minute Game of Thrones mythical history of the castle. And I was like so absorbed in the story that when he was done, I had to remind myself
this isn't real.
It wasn't real. I'm like, I can't repeat this to anybody because it's not, clearly not real because definitely dragons were involved and magic and stuff. So I mean, it was one of the things where I'm like, obviously this didn't happen. But
suspension of disbelief was there because he was in it.
He is in it to win it. And he had these great anecdotes about like meeting some of the people backstage. Yeah. And just as
he's obsessed with Kit Harington, and his stories about Kit Harington were the funniest things on the planet. Yeah. It was, I mean, his interactions with Kit Harington are probably how you would imagine like any interaction that we would have with someone. Like he considered the best day of his life to be Kit Harington saying hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it was good morning.
Yeah. What did he liked it? He's like, I've never held my newborn son in my hand. He's like, but that better be a fucking good kid,
Yeah. It's like to beat that moment.
Oh, you're the best person ever.
Yeah, it was, oh my gosh, it was great. We got to see all kinds of cool things. We went to the Cliffs of Moher, and it snowed on us hard. It looked like, I think you were saying it looked like the Black Pearl was going to come sailing out of it, because it was like you could see that there was a wall of storm coming at us.
It was so weird because like I don't remember seeing it like show up.
Right.
It's just all of a sudden I like turned and I'm like, oh God.
Oh, that's coming.
We're like, what's about to happen? And we're like,
gonna hit us.
We were like way out on the cliffs.
Yeah.
We weren't
like, there's no way to avoid this is going to hit us. It's blowing in.
Slow going getting out there because it's pretty windy.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe we should have seen it coming because it was so windy. But it had been sunny when we got there, partially sunny with some
freezing, but
sunny. And then all of a sudden just like wall of cloud, and we're like, oh, this is not gonna be good.
It was incredible. It was
pretty fun.
Yeah.
But it was like what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Yeah, right. Like 10 minutes of it. It was miserable but fun, and the wind was blowing so hard we were like standing horizontally as it was blowing against us. And it was a good time. And that tour guide was amazing too. His name was Val. Val, good old Val. And it was just it was a super, I mean, Northern Ireland has my heart always, and Ireland is so fun. And it was just like a fun time. Yeah, like the four of us going, like I said, ate a lot of good stews, went to a lot of pubs, drank a lot of Guinness,
went to the original Dirty Nellies.
Went to the original Dirty Nellies, which if you listen to us regularly, Dirty Nellies is our local pub in Costa Mesa that we go to all the time. So we went to the original one in Ireland, which was super rad. Yeah. And it was beautiful. And then we also got tattooed.
We got our first
tattoos up there. Apparently Kristen got the boldest of tattoos.
Yeah, apparently. So I had a friend, we posted, the picture I posted actually on my Instagram she honestly, and like, it was like, people probably thought I was joking, but she honestly had not started yet. And my face was like, okay, just do it. But I got it on I guess I'll show it to you. I got it on my outer arm here. So if you're watching this, you can see it on my outer forearm. I got it. And a friend of mine commented, he's like, you went outer forearm for your first tattoo? He was like, bold. And I'm like, what? Is that a thing?
Yeah. I guess like maybe people often get their like first tattoo somewhere other people can't see it. Like they're testing the waters, you know, but you can't necessarily like, I mean, you're wearing a sweater now, but like in the summer when you're at work and stuff like that, it'll be hanging out. So I'm guessing like that's probably
I guess
the thought. Whereas, you know, mine is tucked away a little more, like under this you can't even really see it.
Corey went real hard.
Yeah,
well, it looks way better than the last one.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I went all in. It's still healing, but and it looks super grainy on here.
Scab is gone. From
the big nasty scab is not there anymore.
Last time I saw it was like all dry and still like scabby, and I was like, oh god, it gets better, right? Yeah. I'm like, I know it does, but
if you're considering a tattoo, let's just like talk about some things here for a second, because I went and I like YouTubed for a month before this, watching people get their first tattoos and stuff like that, you know, seeing what it's like. The tattoo itself is not the worst part, especially like if you get a big one like this. Like, I mean, for yours, probably getting it was the worst part, right? Because it didn't hurt that much.
It did not hurt after.
Yeah,
at all.
But getting like a giant tattoo like this, where I sat for 6 hours straight and had her do this kind of thing, like it hurt, but it wasn't horrible, you know. But healing was the worst, especially because Kristen kept punching me.
What? Twice, and it was on accident.
It was 3 times, and you should promise. You told me to promise not to tell anyone.
Oh, okay. Well, now you know.
Now I did.
But so one of the issues was that it was cold, so we always had like jackets
like layers,
on. So I forgot. I kept forgetting it was there, and so one time I was like, "Oh, right," boom, and smacked. And I was like, "Oh god!" And then another time I like full on like tackled, hug you, and then and it's like, and I didn't even. It was like I couldn't even comprehend why I had done it.
Like, why was that a thing? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you don't realize how much you touch each other until something like this. But we were on a black taxi tour in Northern Ireland, and
that was
the driver was like turning around and he was telling us something. He told us like a really funny story. And so he was like, I wish I'd had my camera on this, because it was like literally like we start laughing. Kristen gets really excited. We're laughing. And she just hits me super hard in the arm because she's so excited. And my face just turns. I'm like, oh God. And then she's like, oh. Looking at his face. He's like watching. He's like, oh.
Tom,
like,
sweet
Tom, who has a tattoo of his own name.
He's the best. Well, he was really fun because I had taken my jacket off. I wasn't sure how the tour was going, if we were like getting out of the cab at any point. So I'd taken my jacket off and I was asking him a question, and so he could see my tattoo, and he goes, what, you know, it's like, what does your tattoo say? And I was like, oh, it says you'll never walk alone. Turns out he's a huge Liverpool fan,
which is their motto.
Was very pumped about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, well, we actually all got the same thing. He's like, that's cool. I'm like, actually, if you want to see a tattoo, you should see this girl's. And so then Corey takes her jacket off and lifts up her arm. Shirt, and at that point, it looked looked really great because it wasn't healing really yet. And so she lifts up her arm, and he's like, whoa, and he pulls this, he's like, and he goes to take a picture, and then is like, oh, can I take a picture of your arm? And she's like, yeah, you know, why not? And then we get out of the car, and he has like all these friends that are cabbies at this one stop, and he shows them the tattoo. And oh my goodness. It was like,
I have a wonderful picture of just like 6 Northern Irish men gathered, old, like, dads. In their 50s, you know, looking at my tattoo. It was a proud moment. And Shannon, the gal who did it, was pretty stoked that happened too. She pretty like, what? Yeah, so it was really cool. And now here's the thing though, is what everybody says is like, you're gonna want more. And now I totally am like, oh my God, I want more. Yeah. I'm so excited about getting more tattoos. So I have to like set like goals or something like that. Like I can't just get tattoos all the time. I have to be like, oh, when I like graduate, or when like, you know, life things happen or something like that, I can get tattoos. Also, Shannon said that like the first one's always the easiest, and then they get harder after that. They hurt more after that. So
I'm probably never getting another one.
You guys, if you didn't post it, did you post the series of your faces on Instagram?
No, just on
Oh
Facebook.
Man, because there's just a really good photo or like set of photos of Kristen's faces as she's getting this thing, which took like 15 minutes total.
I feel like not even.
She goes through all the Winona Ryder faces.
Yes, you guys, Winona Ryder is my Patronus.
I know,
sure.
right? Yeah. Oh my gosh! And can we talk about like Winona Ryder? I was showing. So I'm teaching an introduction to popular culture class at Cal State Fullerton, or 2 of those this semester. And so in my classes, I was like, let's talk about the speeches that were made at the SAG Awards and like what they mean in popular culture and society. And
really good
the speeches were,
and
really
I usually hate
on point.
speeches, but they were
taking it home,
Gosh.
So, and the SAG Awards, they get about 2.5 minutes to give a speech, which helps. So like, they're not trying to truncate it. They're like, all right, here's the few people I want to thank. And then here's my message. Right. Yeah. So, Stranger Things was probably the most viral of all of them for many reasons, one of which being just everybody loves Stranger Things. Yeah. And this is, you'll probably appreciate this, is that like this is the one thing that I can use an example in my classes that like almost everybody has seen.
There we go.
Which is rare. Yeah. Like even if I say something like Star Wars or Titanic or anything, there's usually like 4 or 5 people who've seen it and the rest haven't. And I asked both my classes like, how many people have seen Stranger Things? There's probably only 3 or 4 that haven't. Mm. Right. Okay. So everybody binge watched it. So, it's a really popular show and the speech was really, powerful. Really great. And David Harbour, like you've heard us talk about him before, how much we freaking love David Harbour. But what really kind of stole the show. For a second we tried to get him on the show. Yeah.
He's now too famous.
He's too famous for it now. That's okay. But he did respond to us.
That's true.
So, I will give, that's pretty good for someone who is now like just way too famous.
This isn't muted, right?
No. Okay. For some reason, it shows red when it's muted and or when it's like working and blinks red when it's muted. Okay. It's very confusing. Anyway, you can see our thing there. Anyway, so, but what stole the show was Winona Ryder's faces during the speech. And I don't know what was going on. Someone told me that apparently they came out and said like she had like she for some reason couldn't hear or like something was going on that made it so she was like reacting and didn't know really what was being said or something like that. I don't know what the case may be. She's also like, she's just a delightful weirdo.
She's just fine.
Yeah, honestly, everyone keeps saying like, oh, she was on drugs.
Something. I was like, no, she was just being Winona Ryder.
She's just weird and wonderful. God, and so you see her go through pretty much every possible emotion in this, 1 minute span of time. And at one point she manages to do like a F yeah on television. She's responding to this. She's and so like
magical.
She's great. And so someone edited this.
Oh yeah, with the pizza.
Oh my God, with pizza.
Flying pizza, flying towards her
pizza.
Face. And it's so wonderful.
It's next level.
Yeah.
It's so good. You guys look up. In fact, when I was in class the other day, I was like, okay, try to ignore Winona's face as we watch this. And then I was like, first I'm going to show you the pizza gif. And so I put into the like search bar Winona and Google predicts Winona Ryder pizza gif. I was like, that is what everyone is looking at and Googling right now. It was, I just love her. Oh, that's amongst my tattoos I want to get.
Winona forever. Well, and what was really great about that win also was even before just the excitement, because those kids are so excited about everything.
They were.
I mean, everything those kids get excited about.
I loved the kid, what's the kidnapped kid's name? But what's his name in real life?
I don't know what his name is.
I can't remember what his name is. But anyway.
He's like literally the only kid I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's not really in the show as much, so he doesn't do as much of the press stuff as the rest of them. But he like grabs Millie Bobby Brown and is just like hugging her and jumping up and down. And she's like it's not that she's like trying to push him away or anything, but he definitely is like more like grabbing onto her than she is onto him. And you're just like, precious sweet little boy.
I know. And like everybody's like reactions, they're genuine, like like those kids were like over the moon.
Yeah. And the adults. I mean, like
totally.
Really,
but
Matthew Modine the entire time is just like holding
on to
Winona's shoulders and just like beaming. And then like sometimes he reaches over and like touches David Harbour.
like I was like, for such a creeper, you're
very endearing. You're an endearing dad type guy.
Great.
IRL.
Oh my gosh, it was such a fun speech to watch.
I mean, and it was really, he was using, Stranger Things as a metaphor to talk about, the bullies and institutions and individuals and monsters that we face in real life. And, SAG Awards happened to be the same day that the, Muslim travel ban was enacted. So everything was kind of,
fresh.
Fresh. And people were sort of talking about that in various ways. So, him getting up there and saying this and also doubling down on his "you should punch Nazis in the face" because he had said that on Twitter and like people were like, oh, how dare you? And so then he ended his speech essentially with the same
punching people in the face,
thought, like Hopper would do, punch some bad guys in the face. And he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I said what I said,
He's just wonderful. Yeah, it was magical. And then like, everybody else too.
I mean, the hidden fences.
Oh no. My God.
Oh no, I did it. Oh God, no, I said hidden fences.
Guess what? It's live.
I know it's live. I can't take it back. Hidden
I'm
figures.
sorry. I think this makes me feel a lot better about some of the dumb stuff I've said.
Okay.
Corey, all black movies are the same. Just lump them all together, huh? Typical. This one.
Oh no. Oh no. That's a bad one. I'ma own it.
Oh, that was my favorite thing. I love it so much.
Yeah, I have to own that I just said that. Hidden Figures. With Taraji P. Henson, her speech was really good as well for the.
I know people are like all about ask them more, but oh my God, she looked so beautiful.
Yeah,
like her and Janelle Monáe and Octavia Spencer, like the three of them were all like gorgeous, but she looked. I think Taraji P. Henson's already like one of the most beautiful humans ever.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh! Anyway, I just wanted
also,
to say that. And
Viola that's like Davis too. Her dress.
Viola Davis can wear color like nobody.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
World can wear color.
Knocked it out of the park. Like, I mean,
She's like, yeah, I'll wear that.
I was like, how do you look like that? It's amazing.
Gosh, and she's got those arms. She's got good arms.
Everything about her is, and just like flawless skin.
Flawless.
Everything about it. During the Hidden Figures one, what was kind of fun about it was that like it felt like Black church. Like it was like people were like, as she says like something to like talk to me God or something at the beginning of it, and then through her whole speech people keep saying like praise the Lord and amen and stuff like that, and you're like, this is a very like, and I'm like unusual. I know. And Janelle Monáe is just like sobbing.
You guys, I love Janelle Monáe. She's like incredible. More than I like. Yeah, I just love her.
And you still need to see Moonlight, right?
I still need to see Hidden Figures.
Oh, and Hidden Figures. And
Moana. And Rogue One. You guys haven't been to the movies in a long time.
Yeah, you have not been doing a lot of movies.
Well, the problem is that then everybody went already. So then I'm like, well, now I gotta go by myself. And then like when I'm by myself, I usually just want to stay home.
That's because you don't have an AMC like the one right here. That's the thing. I go see them all the time. They have that recliner. Yeah. I went to the movies today. I went and saw Arrival.
Yeah. And I also, anyway, so.
Yeah, there you go.
Who has time for that? I don't. But I haven't seen anything. But actually on Sunday, I had wanted to go see, was going to go see Hidden Figure. I was going to go see Moana and then go see Hidden Figures after.
Oh, yeah. But
then I was supposed to be meeting up with a friend at 4 and I wasn't going to have time to do both. And then she texted me later and was like, can we push it back? And I'm like, damn it.
Ruined everything.
And then plus I like slept in. Anyway, not that, the whole thing. So I haven't seen anything.
Wow. Yeah, you gotta get on board. I'm trying to see basically every Oscar Best Picture nominee except for Hacksaw Ridge. I'm clearly not going to watch Hacksaw Ridge. But.
See, a bunch of my friends went to go see La La Land on Tuesday.
Yeah, I saw.
Like, you want to go? And they for some reason I was like in this group text, and everyone's like, "We're gonna go see La La Land tonight." And I was like, "Pass," and I like left it, and I'm like, and then I got home. My roommate's like, "Are you gonna go with us to see La La Land?" I'm like, I actually didn't super want to see it beforehand, like even before it got nominated. Like I was never, even though like. Sounds probably surprising because it sounds like a movie that would be right up my alley. Mm-hmm. Like I love both.
I mean, we talked about like the trailers looked delightful.
Yeah, the trailers looked delightful. But even in the trailers, I was like, I wasn't like intrigued because it didn't tell me enough of like the plot to be interested in it. It just looked pretty, and that's not usually enough for me. That like there has to be some kind of intriguing, like what's going to be an intriguing kind of plot point.
Yeah,
and they told me nothing about it. So I'm like. there's just gonna be these two people like maybe falling in love or maybe not, like meh, you know. So anyway, and I was not like super interested in it. So
I mean, I wanted to love it because I love Damien Chazelle. I love musicals. I love Ryan Gosling. You know, like things were kind of in my wheelhouse, but I think between the hype and just, you know, there were things about it that bored the hell out of me and things about it that I like was angry about. And so at the end of the day, I'm like, it's fine. You know, it's okay, but I probably won't watch it again. You know, or I'll watch pieces of it that I like, you know, and that's it. But yeah, so I don't know. Otherwise, though, like, I mean, I've seen Hidden Figures, I've seen Arrival, seen Moonlight, Manchester by the Sea, and mostly I've been like really impressed by just about everything that's come out. I mean, Arrival today, there were parts of it that I was kind of bored or whatever, because it's a little bit of a slow movie, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's such a beautiful movie.
That was the one. So that was one where I agreed. Like, there's Ryan and I went and saw it, and we walked out, and both of us were like, some parts were a little bit slow, but then like in the end, it was like beautiful, and I thought Amy Adams did
she was incredible.
Job.
Yeah,
I was sad that she didn't get nominated.
Yeah,
honestly.
I
didn't get that because I just thought was absolutely fantastic. So
she was phenomenal. She's going to be one of those ones like, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio was nominated 1,000 times before actually winning one. I feel like Amy Adams is going to be shunned forever, and then like people are going to be like, enough.
Yeah.
Like, nominate her for something because she's brilliant.
Yeah.
She's so
she
brilliant.
She just did such a great job, and I really did actually like it a lot. But you're right, there is a little, not one I would like watch over and over again, but I did really enjoy it.
Yeah,
I've always been intrigued anyway by people who are linguists.
And
people who like, whenever someone says, "Oh, I taught myself whatever language," I'm like, I can't even wrap my head around it, because I'm like, I would need someone to tell me like, this bottle in this language is this, because I'm like, I can look at this and know that it's called whatever it is in my language, but I don't know. It's like people and so this movie to me was fascinating, of how she could even, you know, communicate enough in order to make this language, and that was, or a written language at least, and it was like,
and the thing that someone had to do
think of that for the
movie.
Fakeness of it. And I was like, I 100% believed this was happening.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I honestly thought that partway through. I was like, I believe in this.
Yes. There was not a point where I'm like, that would never happen.
Right.
Like, I was fully immersed in the fact that these aliens landed and she was communicating with them. Like,
and one of the things I think they did that was kind of effective in it is that they didn't, you know, a lot of movies would provide you with a lot of explanation, right? So like getting to the point of her talking to it and stuff like that. Like, we would have seen a training montage and stuff like that before she even went in and all that kind of stuff. And instead it's like, nope, she got here. They're like, put on this suit. We're going to give you some vaccinations and get up in that ship and stuff like that. And it was like really, you know, and like a month passes and stuff like that without like a whole lot of fanfare. And I think something about that helped with the suspension of disbelief, because you're not caught up in like, well, did the logic of that make sense?
Like there's nothing of that there's nothing to question, because it's just like
like, it's not really what this is about, you know. It was I thought it was just a really well done movie, and I didn't expect the resolution the way that it played out. I was like, oh
there came a point when I was like,
yeah, right. Like, you're just like, oh my God, I see where this is going.
And it was really fun. I also love Jeremy Renner too, and I always have. So
and I love that they had that thing where she got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, right? And Jeremy Renner was
they're
there.
like actually really
like they're like BFFs, because you only have your like good friends.
Come to
with you. It's usually like family.
It's usually
whoever can fit in that little square they put around.
Oh my God.
And Jeremy Renner was with her, and that was really delightful. So, you know, I recommend Arrival. I like, basically, other than La La Land, and even like see La La Land, you know, I'm not saying you're gonna hate it or whatever. I have my many qualms with it and its characters, but you know, I overall this year I've really liked every one of them that I've seen. I think tomorrow I'm gonna go see
Fences.
Fences, yes, because
I know
they
you were
brought
going to
it.
say figures.
I was gonna say, yeah, figures. They're bringing it back to the AMC tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
You know, and I don't know if I'm gonna get a chance to see Hell or High Water because it doesn't look like they're bringing that back.
Really good.
Yeah, I heard it was really good, and I like the people who were in it.
I forgot about that. I forgot about it because it was not. It was like a.
It kind of in and out. Yeah, exactly.
And then, but there was like a couple people who I talked to was like, oh, I love that. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, it like apparently it was really good. It just, I mean, I think it was just so kind of had that indie vibe.
Yeah.
That people didn't really go and see it.
Yeah, and actually read an interesting, Jeremy Riley posted on Facebook an interesting article about silence that Adam Driver monk.
Yeah, monk. I like that you called it the Adam Driver movie instead of what's his face, who's like the
Liam Neeson?
No, Garfield. Andrew Garfield.
I don't care about him.
Yeah, F that guy.
Yeah, just kidding. I do. He's also adorable. And it was actually a really interesting article. So I'm like, you know what? You're right. They released the trailer like right before the movie came out, and then the movie was like limited release, and then like it didn't do well in limited, so then they like didn't go anywhere else. I'm like,
well, it's 3 hours long.
Yeah, well,
I was like, because it's playing at the AMC, or it was this past week. I was like, oh, maybe I'll go see Silence, and then I was like, 3 hours? No,
yeah,
I don't think so.
But that was another one of those ones where I'm like, oh yeah, there's that movie. Was that even out?
Yeah. These things kind of come and go. So Hell or High Water I'd like to see. I just don't know if I'll get the opportunity to. Okay, anyways. So movie trailers, since we're talking about movies and whatnot. So the one you sent me was Their
Finest.
Their Finest.
And so it's Sam Claflin and Bill Nye and Gemma Arterton, you guys. So I don't know if you remember this conversation that I thought that Jonathan Frakes' name was Jonathan Franks.
For like ever.
My whole life.
Yeah.
Ever since I've watched Next Generation, that was what I thought his name was. Until something happened where I like realized there was no
I think it was, you were watching, what's it called? Leverage, yeah.
And I realized there was no N in his name, and I'm like, I mean, this was a legit Berenstein Bears moment for me.
Like, is this my parallel universe?
Again, I have thought also, since she came on the scene, that Gemma Arterton's name was Gemma Atherton. Like, that's how I've talked, not like I talk about her a lot.
Right, but if
honestly,
it came
I guess
up.
it was just also in my head. Like,
right,
oh,
like
Gemma, Gemma Atherton's going to be in that.
And people are like, sure.
And maybe people said it. Lots of times I was probably by myself, just thinking it to myself. Like, I would read it and think Atherton.
Yeah. I feel like it's like she's in few enough things. Like, she's not that big a deal.
She changed her name and it used to be Atherton.
I think it's always been Arterton. Who would change their name to Arterton? Like, that's it's more complicated.
Why did the Berenstein Bears change their name?
Touche.
Anyway,
my thought is probably if you said it to people, they would be like, well, maybe I had it wrong.
You know, because I say it with such confidence.
It's true. Yeah.
I do lots of things with confidence sometimes.
Yeah.
I do lots
of things. That's always what my high school choir teacher would say, you know, if you're going to sing the wrong note, sing it confidently.
Well, and it's like, what's his face? And when Matt Damon was in 30 Rock, and he's like, if you just walk with enough confidence, you can get anywhere you want. I got to the second floor of the White House while the Obamas were sleeping, and I was like, God, you're my hero. I want to do that.
I miss that show so much.
Anyway, that trailer was kind of interesting, and so it's about this. Gemma gets tasked. I can't even say her last name.
No. Now
honestly, it's unnatural not to say.
It's a lost cause at this point.
I'm just gonna call her Gemma Atherton. I've decided. So she gets tasked with writing this, like, essentially like a propaganda movie, during World War II, and it actually just looks like not fun, but like an interesting sort of. It's not like a war. It's a war movie.
Yeah, but like
it's not,
sort of lighthearted,
but also deals with some serious themes. As in, like, she doesn't get taken seriously because she's a woman film writer.
Yeah. And then the bombing intensifies, so you know she really gets like that. You know, I think it's that distance you feel from something until it hits you that it's part of your life. So I don't know. Actually, if it comes here and if it's somewhere, I mean, that'll be one of those movies where I'll probably forget about it because it's not going to be like a big deal in America. But and plus, I'm like love Sam Claflin. So and I guess I should also confess, I thought his name was just Sam Claflin for the longest time. I didn't see the other L. What is wrong with
might
you?
Have a learning disability. I'm just kidding. I don't, and I shouldn't make fun of that. If you have one, I'm very sorry. I shouldn't have said that. But I also have a hard time reading. I think I just
maybe you do. Maybe this is undiagnosed
it's like
learning
real fast.
disability.
Sometimes it's just
like the first thing you read, you just accept that.
I accept that, and then later I just ignore that extra letter.
Yeah.
So honest for Claflin and like Claflin sounds more like an N than Claflin.
Like, well, yeah, and all of these are awkward names,
right? And so I'm just like, it's almost like my brain's like, nah, I don't like that. I'm gonna change it.
That's not a name. Yeah, we're gonna fix it.
I'm not down with that. I'm gonna change it because Arterton is dumb. Atherton makes sense.
Right. Yeah. And I think about it. It's like normally, you don't usually get things wrong. It's just for some reason people's last names you reject.
Yeah. Right. I'm like, I do not accept that as reality.
No.
You guys, alternate names. That's how I'm gonna start.
Exactly.
Anyway, so I don't know. It looks fun. And so it'll be one of those ones that if I remember, if I remember to see it, I would actually like.
Don't expect us to revisit this, but if we do, I'm sure we will discuss it. And it really doesn't look like one I'd necessarily see in the movie, but I might rent it on Amazon.
Yeah, and I mean, really, what we want to talk about. The trailer that we want to talk about
is old as time.
I sang it. I just showed it to somebody at work, and then I sang it for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
because it looks. We got the final trailer. In case you don't know what we're talking about, we got the final trailer for Beauty.
If you've lived under a rock for 25 years,
seen Beauty and the Beast. The new trailer came out. The last one. Which is great because I realized the movie comes out in March.
So I know it's really soon.
To go, so it's coming out, and it
comes out on St. Patty's. Or the day before, because everything comes out the day before. It says
so it just is beautiful. It looks so beautiful.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. I mean, I guffawed when Luke Evans is looking in the mirror
at himself,
like, right? No one deserves you or whatever.
He's like, you're the most beautiful person I've ever seen, and you're like, oh. And then all of a sudden you realize he's not looking at Belle, and then also her look on her face as she walks past him. I was like. Fuck you.
We're so good.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. And then I love when so it's a scene where like the Beast has chased Belle from the castle, and then he goes back to save her because she's getting attacked by wolves, and then he gets hurt, and I just absolutely loved her being like, you have to help me, like you have to get up, and I was like, oh my god. I don't know why, but it was like just this beautiful. And plus there's something about Hermione's voice. I just want her to do all my books on tape.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I agree with that. Especially when she's not trying to do an American accent.
No. Well, yeah.
I natural Emma. All about that. Yeah. No, I'm really into it. And for the most part, I've seen people's reactions to it and stuff have been really positive. There's, the occasional person on my Facebook or whatever who's just like, this looks terrible.
I'm like, you're terrible.
But I will say that I don't necessarily get like her and Matthew. What's his name? The Beast. What's his name?
Yes, Matthew.
Downton
Abbey.
This is never gonna not be Dan Stevens. It's because his name is just as bland as Matthew. That's why. His name is Dan Stevens. It's like two white male first names as one thing. Dan Stevens. So, in it, they're singing Beauty and the Beast as opposed to Mrs. Potts singing it. And so, they're singing about themselves.
What part were they singing?
They were singing the Tale as Old as Time. Is that what the song's called?
That wasn't them that was singing in this trailer.
Who was it?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that was them.
No, that's just that's the John Legend version of the song.
That was John Legend? Okay, well. I thought it was them. And so therefore I was like, well, that doesn't really make sense because clearly why would they be singing?
Here's the thing. That way? Not that she doesn't have a good voice, but the person that was singing the song in the trailer has a much better singing voice than Emma Watson does.
I guess because I've only heard like the little bit of her singing.
Yeah, and it wasn't the other one. Not terrible, but that person in the trailer that was singing is an actual singer.
That's their job.
That sounds like that person's job.
Sure.
And it didn't sound like Emma Watson.
I guess in this day and age, I just I assume there's so much auto-tune and stuff like that.
And plus, and I will also be honest with you, is that Chrissy Teigen had posted the trailer, and because I knew John Legend had done it, she was like, that song though, and was like all excited, and she wouldn't have been that excited if it
was just like a random person. Okay, that's fair. Okay, then it all makes sense. Never mind. I take it back.
So stop being such a hater, Corey.
I was just like, that's a weird change to make. Why would they? Why would they make that? She's going to refer to herself as Beauty?
Come on. Belle would never do such a thing.
Belle would never do that. I know.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Yeah. It's just so pretty too.
Yeah.
Like the town.
I'm excited about the whole thing, and I hope.
And Josh Gad, I think, is going to be a hilarious.
Yeah, and you don't even really get to see a lot of him.
I know.
You see him dance a little bit.
The scene, honestly, I was showing my coworkers, and the scene from the tavern where they're doing the Gaston,
and he's on the
clearly
table.
doing the Gaston song, even though they're overplaying the other song on it. I was like, that scene looks epic, and it's going to be
I'm stoked to see that
good.
as a live action scene.
That scene, I think, is going to be really, really fun.
I think it'll be a favorite.
And especially since how we finally got like a taste of Luke Evans being like an actor, not just like
Gaston,
villain Gaston, like yelling about the beast, but being like
the goofy, brawny,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Fun. He looks like, I mean, Luke Evans, I think, is just one of those. He's like an underrated, versatile sort of guy.
I mean, he was great in Fast and Furious.
He's great in Fast and Furious, right? Like, he is just, I think that he has range that is untapped so far. And so seeing him in like a comedic musical role.
Hollywood, are you listening to us? Hire Luke Evans for more things.
Gaucho clearly agrees.
Gaucho agrees. Gaucho's trying to look.
You can't see him, but he's just staring, being a creeper dog.
Hey, Snaggle.
Okay, how long? I don't know how long we've been talking. That's the thing. This is... When did you get here?
I don't know, 9:40.
Okay, we still got a little time. Okay, so we talked about Ireland. We talked about trailers. What else were we going to talk about? Talked about the Oscars.
Oh, Ocean's 8.
Picture. Oh, Ocean's 8. So they released a photo. That's all we get so far of the cast of Ocean's 8. They're in like a subway car. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's not like a ton to say about it. Except
people were like losing their minds, but I'm like, it's like 8 women on a train.
Yeah, which sounds like a good movie title in and of itself.
I know.
Tap women on a train.
Band name called it.
This is our friend Michelle. For some reason, has recently been reading books that have titles that have something to do with a woman on a train. And so, yeah, I guess that's kind of where my head is at right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was cool, and then they looked like. They're cool.
Yeah, I think the funniest thing, like the article, was it Nerdist that you sent me the link from?
Probably. That's
something like that. Yeah, usually Kristen's a Nerdist addict. The pictures you sent, they were talking about how like one of the most surprising things about it, because otherwise it just looks like a bunch of women looking cool, but was that Helena Bonham Carter looks completely normal.
Yeah, I couldn't actually find her.
Right.
And I also thought
I zoomed in. I was like, oh.
I thought that Sarah Paulson, I 100% thought that was Emily Blunt.
Keo thought it was... Keo, who did you think Sarah Paulson was? Rose Byrne.
Another random British lady.
Yeah, brunette British ladies. This blonde woman.
And I was like,
here.
I guess I'd forgotten that Emily Blunt was in this. And then I scrolled down, I'm like,
because she's not.
Not Emily Blunt. I
not
scrolled back up
actually
and I was like, okay.
Okay.
Well, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. No, definitely not either of those people.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting because it sounds like they're trying to keep it similar to the vibe of Oceans.
Right.
Where it's like not like a slapstick, which was what I kind of expect from.
Right. With Sandra Bullock being the lead.
Yeah. So it'll be kind of fun to see because especially the way she looked like she meant business. I was like, oh,
I'm excited about that. I like Sandra Bullock.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. I always like those movies, so I'm not like, so pumped. It's like the best movie that's ever going to happen.
Right.
But
it'll be entertaining
that I like, so I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be fun. Yeah. I think it'll be a fun movie. So.
It's like one of those ones that it's like, I don't know if I'll go see opening night or anything like that, but if people go and they're like, hey, that was pretty good, I will go see it.
Yeah.
I won't wait it out. I'll go see it in the movie theater. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of fun to get to see like a little glimpse of it though.
For sure.
I will say that.
And then Ben.
Oh, right. Apparently somehow Kristen missed this altogether, so it's not even really
follow Ben Affleck like uber closely.
Not like I do. But in case you didn't know, Ben Affleck, after much speculation, is not actually going to be directing the Batman anymore.
Just tell me that Bryan Singer is not going to.
I don't think Bryan Singer is going to direct the Batman. No. I've seen a few rumors. I can't remember who is on the list, of people that they're talking about, but it won't be Ben Affleck. He said that there was, it was just too much pressure with, acting in it. And he's also writing and producing it.
Oh, he's writing it.
Yeah,
too.
he's writing it. So
with Matt Damon. Is it going to be a Good Will Hunting?
So. No. Can you imagine the Good Will Hunting version of the Batman?
Yeah,
I'm in. To tell you the truth.
Especially if they
How do you like them apples?
Especially if they have their Boston accents. That'd be all about
Oh, man.
I like it when they have their Boston accents.
Yeah, completely. This, my mom was watching Finest Hours earlier today.
Oh, God.
And I was like, I don't know if I can sit through it because it's like Chris Pine's.
Yeah, it's not
Boston
like actual
accent.
Boston people.
Yeah, Casey Affleck's in it. So,
although my
you got
Boston
that. He's from
accent
Falmouth.
is really good.
Oh, gee. Yeah, it's really spot on.
Isn't it? I can do you really well.
Oh, can you? Not from Boston. Jeez.
Whatever.
Come on.
Eastern
Get
Mass.
it. Western.
Whatever.
You're right.
It's the same. Massachusetts is so small, it's basically all one from direction. Right?
Unacceptable.
Right? Duncan? Hey? I feel like Duncan's gonna murder me.
No, but yeah, I'm a little sad about it because I love Ben Affleck. I actually haven't seen Live by Night yet because I'm afraid.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I forget about that.
It
looks very generic to me.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it looks super generic. And I was reading some things on Rotten Tomatoes, and that seems to be the critique. It's like, it's not that it's bad, it's just any movie of its genre.
Yeah.
And I love Ben Affleck so much that I just like, I don't know if my heart can take it, but I'll see it. It's just
that's a dollar theater movie.
That's a dollar theater movie. Yeah, absolutely. I loved The Accountant so much. I'm taking that
I haven't seen that either.
Oh, so good. I'm gonna take that as if he directed it.
Okay.
Instead of accepting Live by Night in the canon. I will own both most likely because I have to have a complete Ben Affleck collection.
Do you have Daredevil?
Yeah.
Me too.
It's so bad.
I know.
I've watched it once.
No, I watched it.
It's not
more
pleasant.
than once.
Of course you did. Yeah.
Anyway,
I feel like you have more patience for that kind of thing
I
than
totally
I do.
I'll watch terrible movies.
Yeah, you'll do them more repeatedly than I do.
again.
Whereas I just watch like the same 10 movies all the time, essentially. But yeah, so no Ben Affleck in a directorial role, but he's still writing, producing, so at least we have that. Yeah. Was there anything else that we wanted to discuss? I don't wanna shirk anything here in our
Shirking
great
is
return.
bad.
Shirking is very bad.
Shirking's for suckers.
I think we covered it. Yeah.
We're so good at podcasting. It's
We're
amazing.
like kind of
I
professional.
don't want to brag, but we totally don't get.
I'm pretty impressed with us. We do have to, you know what? We do have to. I've been very busy and so forth, and so I haven't been trying to get us guests. So we do have to.
Anybody want to be a guest?
I don't want to be a guest. Who wants to hang out with us? We do have to get some guests back in the fan cave again. It's been a busy year. We haven't been on top of it as much as we were once upon a time, but we will get you some guests, some people to talk to us.
Because everybody hates just talking to us. We're boring.
We're the worst. No, I think Cynthia said she wanted to come back. She wanted to redo things.
Now.
Cynthia's famous now.
Not too famous.
You guys,
for us?
just FYI,
Wait,
like
is Cynthia not too famous.
she's never too famous for us.
Gosh,
Cynthia
has
is
the
like
best
for
hair
real
of
right now.
anybody I've
Cynthia
ever met.
is going to be briefly in Kong Skull Island. So if you watched many moons ago, like 2 years ago, I think she said she hugged Tom Hiddleston. This was the first thing I asked her. I was like,
she didn't implode.
You were in Kong. Did you meet Tom Hiddleston? She was like, oh yeah, I even hugged him. I was like, oh, stop, Cynthia, I cannot handle it.
Okay, can we stop for a second?
Yeah.
We are now one person away.
We are
from
1
Tom
degree
Hiddleston.
from Tom Hiddleston.
It's basically like having him on ourselves.
Basically.
Anyway, sorry,
Yeah.
continue. So Cynthia
she's in Kong Skull Island. She's also in the movie that's coming out. It just premiered at Sundance, and got great reviews and everything, and is coming out soon, called Before I Fall. And that comes out sometime in the next month or two, I think. And
seriously, when I saw pictures of her at the she was posting.
She's called Getty Images and stuff.
And I was like, oh my gosh, Cynthia's never coming back on our show.
No, what is she gonna do?
I wouldn't come on our show if I was her.
No, she's
I would go do what are other shows?
Not our show.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
He's the next step up.
It's basically Electric Jimmy
We're
Fallon.
essentially the minor leagues for the late night crew.
Yeah, basically. We are, yeah.
so ridiculous.
Yeah, we're the farm league here. Next step, Fallon.
Next step, Fallon. So you're welcome, everybody who's this is a stepping stone.
Yeah. I mean, hey, for a couple of ridiculous kids sitting in a living room in Anaheim, we do all right.
We do all right.
We've talked to some cool people. Yes, do. Quality entertainment, you guys. But yeah, we'll find some good guests for you in the near future. And life will be good. But until then, hey, thanks for hanging out with us. Make sure that you follow us on all the things, on the YouTube, on the iTunes, on the Stitcher, on the Twitter, on the Facebook, and so forth. We're really glad you're here. We're glad to be back. So for this week, I'm Gorgon Vaughn.
I'm Kristen Latterell.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace. That's not what I say. What do I say?
I don't remember.